Welcome back to Briggs on Books, our international talk show, where we feature authors from all over the world to tell us about their book, their process, their life, how they got from being a non-author to an author, what happened during the process from starting writing to finishing writing, how did they get their books published. It's just amazing what people go through to get to where they are. And I think this next guest, who is Lynn Moore, is going to be very inspiring as well as everything else. Welcome, Lynn.
Hi, Mike. Nice to see you this morning.
Yes. And by the way, here's the cover of Lynn's book, Born to Bounce Back. And now, Lynn, you have been, by the way, she writes under the name Frances Teagan and publishes as Frances Teagan. You've done a lot of stuff. You've been a teacher. You've been an entrepreneur. You've built businesses. You went back to school at 72 or something like that. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, it's been a very busy life. It's been a life that has been difficult in many ways, but also extraordinary in many other ways, like most people. I will tell you, I'm 81 years old, and I've lived a lot of life and learned a lot. And I started writing at the age of 9. And my mom kept all my little stories and typed them up for me, and I just kept on writing it. It seems to be a natural thing I was born to do. So,
yeah, that's one thing I got about research. You were always a writer.
Always.
Yeah, and what writers must do is write.
Yeah.
I think, like me, though, you're a reader, too.
Oh, yeah, a voracious reader.
Yeah.
I love knowledge. And I always have to learn something every day because I just believe that without knowledge, things just don't change. They don't get better. We must keep learning.
Yeah. In grad school, I came up with this term, ABR, always be reading. And from that day on, I mean, and the line at the supermarket, wherever you are, you need to keep devouring these books. So that's probably helped make you a great writer, too, all the reading.
Yeah.
Now,
really.
Yeah.
Reading.
Now, you've gone through some things in your life, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, you use those experiences to put out this book that kind of highlights, is it maybe some of the speed bumps in your life? How would you describe it?
I call them instant pivotal crises, and no one is immune. We will all have them. Instant because they come out of left field, no warning. Pivotal because they take your life and turn it upside down, inside out, and backwards. And you're looking at a life, excuse me, in front of you that you've never seen before, and it will never be the same again. Yeah. And a crisis, it's catastrophe. Mm-hmm. So everyone has a catastrophe, or many catastrophes. I wrote about 7 of my own. And what I learned from all of this, it took me a long time to realize that they had value and they had meaning. And I want everyone to know that when these crises knock you crazy and you just don't even know how to get up, it's for a reason. So I wanted to get that across to people, so I gave them the examples of my own, and then kind of went backwards as to, okay, this is what I learned from this one. Maybe I can teach them.
By the way, it's very brave of you to expose, I mean, you really expose yourself in the book.
I do. I did it purposely because I also believe that if we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable, again, we aren't going to live a life without we have to learn to listen to each other's stories because they create empathy, and empathy creates, it just makes us all equal.
Yeah. By the way, I meant to ask you in the beginning of the interview, where are you located right now?
I'm in Vernon, British Columbia, Canada.
And that's above California or above New York? I don't know.
It's above California. As a matter of fact, the province of British Columbia is as large as Washington State, Oregon, and Northern California.
Oh, okay. And so, is it, what's the weather there right now?
Right now we're looking at lovely sunshine. I would say, because we are in Celsius, I'm going to try and convert that. But we're probably going to be about 18 degrees today, which is close to 70.
70, yeah. It's amazing. Canadians, Americans, we don't know Celsius. We don't know the metric system. And
well, I was with that. It changed.
Yeah.
I was a young adult, I think.
Yeah. We now your book. Who should be reading this book?
Anyone who has had difficulty in their lives and they just can't seem to get over it.
Sounds like almost all of us, Lynn.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, as I said earlier, that's brave of you to kind of lay yours out. There's 7 big ones. There's probably more than that in your life, but you chose 7 and talked about how you went through them, how you got through them, and maybe that will inspire other people as to how they could get over their own. That's
my whole purpose of writing the book. I want to help others know that their life isn't over when they've a catastrophe, and there are ways to come back. And I go through a number of ways of doing that and advice. Yeah. I also have a wicked sense of humor. Not totally down and, oh, woe is me. Yeah. I do put quite a bit of laughter in there, too, when it's appropriate.
Very good. Now, you went through a lot. You were a mom. You had children. You had a husband. And then at some point, you didn't have a husband.
Yes, and that was because that was one of my IPCs, is that he ended up being what the psychology world names malignant narcissists. They are brutal, they are mean, and they are charismatic. And so I ended up by him being brutal with me in many ways, and who deserted me without a penny to my name with a 2-year-old and an unborn baby.
Wow. Now,
but I also learned I probably saved my life. Any man whose partners kill them, especially malignant narcissists.
Yeah. Now, many women are married to malignant narcissists. Do you think reading your book would help somebody understand that that's what the issue? I mean, people don't know psychology. They don't know they're married to a malignant narcissist. It's just a guy that acts a certain way. Do you think your book would help expose that and help people understand what they're in the middle of?
I would hope so. I would think so, because I did explain, the whole relationship and what he did. Yeah. And he did it. And anyone who, I don't know, I think probably one of the really good ways to find out about a malignant narcissist is through Dr. Phil and his podcast, and they're up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go find out.
I love to watch Dr. Phil. So literally somebody reading your book might save their life.
Oh, boy, that would be wonderful if it would have saved somebody's life. I would be so honored.
If you could save one life, yeah. Now, I want to ask you, I was curious about you went to college later or again at 72 or 74?
I always loved studying. I loved biology, psychology, and I've been a life coach since 2004. And at the age of about 74, I guess it was, I went back to university to study psychology. And one of the things we have here is that if you are a senior, you can go and attend university at no cost. So I thought, hey, what better way to spend my time?
Yeah, I did it.
A lot.
Yeah, I did an extra degree later in life, too, and wow, it was so different because I was just having fun doing it instead of trying to get through it so I get my post-college job. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did, too. Now, I have an idea that this book should be in the hands of a lot of people, and for our viewers out there, go order this book, but don't order one, order 5 of them, because there's people out there who need this book, and you could give it to them, give them as a gift. I think that'd be a great idea. Now,
and because 81, anybody can keep on going to any age. It's just a number.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Inspiring. I know we're out of time, but you're so fascinating. I have to keep talking to you. We have your web address on the screen, borntobounceback.ca. I think that stands for Canada.ca. Yeah. What do we find at your website?
What will you find on it?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll find stories, you'll find blogs, you'll find the way to order the book, of course. And it's probably about 15 pages. There's a lot of information there. So if you want to learn more, there's lots there on the website.
That would lead people to more answers. That's great. Now, I know we're out of time, but I just want to give you a moment to, you got any last thoughts for our viewers about you or your book or life in general?
Just look for meaning in everything that happens in your life. It's not all bad. And, you know, really, I heard it once. I think it was Neil Donald Walsh. He said, there's nothing right, wrong, good, or bad. It just is.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Lynn, for your message and for being so brave to, you know, kind of expose yourself, pour yourself out there so that other people could be moved and inspired and hopefully find some peace in themselves. And I hope you'll come back over and over.
I would love to. Just ask.
All right, Lynn. And we'll be back with more authors right after this.